Perfect, thanks.
Es muy
红
rojo,
色、
¿no?
蓝色、 黄色、
Lo mezclan.
白色、
Por ejemplo, no es un diferente. Acá sí lo-
红、蓝、白、 黄。
Rojo.
Tiene que tener azul, rojo, negro y blanco.
Es un solo sitio, ¿no? Todos.
No, separado.
Teacher, I have this book.
Yeah,
It's
hello?
not.
A few more, a few new students, and welcome. They speak Spanish, so if you hear me saying a few Spanish words here and there, it's for them, okay? Buenas tardes ya, doña Rosa, y Pepe, creo que te escuché por ahí. So, to start, we're gonna get a big brush. A flat brush, the biggest one you have, okay? Like this. And we're gonna mix the paint, the color for a sky. So I'm gonna get blue. And I'm gonna get white. And I'll mix them together. If you already have a lighter blue, that's okay. Whatever you have, you can just add white to make a nicer blue. Entonces agarro el azul y blanco, vamos a pintar el cielo. Make sure you grab quite a bit to cover a large amount, because if you just mix a little bit, then you're gonna have to mix again once you run out, and that's when we get different colors. So I'm happy with this blue. And we're gonna paint the top part of our, sorry. Let me just fix the camera here. We're gonna paint probably this higher part, like the top half, left to right. Cover all of it. Just so you paint this top part. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. The color of the kind of blue, just make sure it's a light blue. Left to right, left to right. I'm gonna go a bit fast right now just because I don't want my paint to dry, but you take your time. Once I'm finished with that part, I'll add a little bit more white to make a lighter blue. And paint this lower part. So I'm just gonna repeat that because I know I'm going fast, but I can't have my paint dry. So I just added a little bit of white to the blue I already had to make it lighter.
Yeah, hi.
And I'm just painting the bottom section. Aquí agregué nada más un poco más de blanco al azul que ya tenía y pinto la parte de abajo. You can even just add a little bit of white directly to the canvas as long as it is wet. It'll mix nicely. So if you joined recently, welcome. Let me just double check here who's on. So just to review right now, we have blue, yellow, red, and white on our canvas. On the side, we'll have the pink if you have pink. If you don't have pink, we'll mix it later. And black on the side. If you don't have black, we'll mix it later. The first color I took was blue. Whatever blue you have, it doesn't matter the shade. I just put it here and I added white, okay? I painted this whole thing with that light blue. Then I added more white to the blue I had and I painted this lower part. So you take your time. And when I paint the skies, I like to do it left to right. Don't do up and down, just left to right, de derecha a izquierda. And we're gonna let that dry. You can wash your brush. So when I wash my brush, I remove the excess with a paper towel. So our water stays clean for longer. And just put it in the water. If you have any questions, remember you can unmute yourself, or you can also write it on the chat if you know how to do it, whatever it's easier. So for our next part, we're gonna use lots of white and a little bit of gray. So if you have black, you can put a little bit on your canvas, just a dot, you don't need too much. So I just put black, just right there, right here. And if you don't have black, we can mix it. So you get black by getting all the primary colors together. So blue, red, it gets muddy. So blue and red gives you already a dark color and just a little bit of yellow. You see how much I'm mixing? Not much. But again, if you have black from the bottle, just use the black, a lot easier. Now that I have, it doesn't have to be perfect. But now that I have a dark color, we're gonna put a little bit here on this side. And then we're gonna add lots of white because I want a light gray. Aquí estoy mezclando un gris muy clarito. Pueden usar el negro que tienen en, digamos, en la botellita. Si no tienen negro, pueden mezclarlo usando, combinando los tres colores amarillo, azul y rojo. Les da este color así como oscuro y nada más lo ponen en el ladito y agregamos blanco poquito a poquito. So I'm happy with this darker. Sorry, so if you had your black from the bottle, same thing, just put a drop here. Black is very strong, so we just add white and it gives me a nice gray. Let me know if you have any questions. I just want a little bit darker than pure white. I'm gonna start just because I don't want my paint to dry, but you take your time mixing the color. So we're just gonna paint over here, down here. And once I'm starting to touch the blue, I want to do circles like this because we are painting clouds. So I'm just going to repeat what we're doing right now. We got a little bit of black, just a drop, and we added lots of white to make it gray. I take the gray and I paint down here, but as I start going up and over the blue, I do circles. It's nice if your brush starts to get dry because the blue that is underneath comes through. Aquí nada más estoy usando el gris abajo. Cuando empiezo a tocar el azul que ya había pintado, lo hago en círculos porque estamos tratando de dar la ilusión que son nubes.
Good.
Oops, too light. And we're gonna, if you're done, you can let it dry. Let's bring it down a little bit more. And you can let it dry if you're done. Oopsie. Let me just put a little bit of tape because if you still have that gray, we're gonna use it for our next step too. So I'm just gonna repeat what we've done so far. We painted this part blue, down here a bit lighter blue, and then we created a gray and painted this part. This section we're doing round brush strokes. And now I'm gonna get more white. So this is where I had my gray. I'm gonna get white and mix it with the gray I had, okay? And with this white, we're gonna do circles as well, but try to do it not a full circle, more like C's, C, and just round, round, round. So it looks like it's lighter on the left side. The right side of the circle doesn't look too right. And just bring the paint all over the place. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. This is just the background we're gonna paint over this. I like how my brush is drying. So I spread the paint with a drier brush. Just circles, circles. Aquí estoy haciendo círculos con la pintura blanca, tratando de que más que círculos son como 6. Así. So these are our clouds. You can bring them as high as you want. I just added a little bit of water to my brush to make more defined clouds on top, but just a little bit, and don't overdo it. Sometimes if you have a dry brush, you can just clean it up like this. This brush is dry. Now I'm just getting pure white. But I'll wait for you. So remember, clouds, a circle or a C. Don't do left to right because that's not going to look like clouds. Just draw C's. Aquí estoy dibujando las nubes con gris clarito y nada más dibujo Cs. C, 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 C. Pueden subirlo tanto como quieran. Y difuminarlo también. And don't worry too much about it. Doesn't have to be perfect because, again, this is our background. We're gonna paint it over it. And the last thing I do for my clouds, I grab pure white and just do a few highlights. So I just took pure white and drew C's. C, C, just here and there, maybe at the top where the sun will be hitting the cloud the most. Not too much, okay? Just see where you think you will want a little bit of highlights. And that's it, those are our clouds. We'll let it dry. Ya el último paso, nada más blanco puro y dibujo la C. Así, C en la parte de arriba, que es donde el sol tocaría un poco más la nube. Tal vez unos cuantos acá abajo, pero no mucho. And you can let that dry if you're done. And clean your brush. And if you're almost done for our next color, we're gonna do the ground and it's going to be green. So if you have your green, you can use it, but we're gonna mix, I'm gonna mix green because not everyone has this kind of green.
Pero doña Rosalba ya aparece conectada. ¿Qué es lo que ve en este momento?
Sí, estoy conectada.
And try not to do too much detail because then the cloud starts to look different. Sometimes it's better to leave it without so much detail. It looks better. So let's get our next color ready. We're just going to do green for the ground. The next color will be green. So if you have a nice green, like this one, that you want to use, go for it. But let's, if you want to mix it with me, let's do that. Vamos a usar verde. Si tienen verde, pueden usar el que tengan. O si no, pueden mezclarlo. Yellow. And a little bit of blue. Remember, every time I tell you to mix a color, the second color you grab, just grab a little bit, just a tip. You put it on the side of your first color and slowly mix in. You see how strong that blue is? Just a little bit gives me green already. And you slowly grab more and more as you need it. Because sometimes we put too much at once. That doesn't look, that changes our color completely. Entonces usé azul y amarillo y creé verde. And we're just gonna put it at the bottom to kind of have a base layer. So again, if you wanna use your own green, please do. If you wanna use, make your own, we are doing, whoops, I grabbed too much blue, yellow, and blue. And you will draw a straight line, whatever your ground is. I think my green is too bright for my painting. So remember to make green darker, we add the opposite color in the color wheel, which is red. Just a tip, just a drop of red on the side, and I slowly mix. Aquí estoy agregando un poquito de rojo al verde, solo un poquitico, para hacerlo más oscuro. So I added a little bit of red to make my green darker. I put more red in the green, and we're gonna do the top. So this section, the top of my green, is darker. I'm going to repeat that. So I have my green, I added red to make it darker. Red always makes green darker. And now that I have a darker red, I'll just put it on the top section of my green. Not all of it, not all the green, but the top. Aquí agregué más rojo al verde y lo pongo en la parte de arriba. And if you're done with your green, yeah, we can, let me see if this is dry. Actually, yeah, if you're done, clean your brushes.
Yeah. What is it?
Perfect. Now that we have our green, we're gonna start painting our main subject. I know you're curious. Let me just double check here.
Ah, okay, you see that? Oh yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I think Kabusan.
Oh yeah, good. Pretty soon you become a painter.
I just learned.
Yeah, why not? Eh?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Can I ask you a favor?
Which kind of paper?
Yeah, but you paint, that's okay.
Which kind of
I need to go to superstore. I can don't drive. Yeah.
Which kind of paper? This one? Sure that?
Favor.
Elizabeth,
Favor. No paper.
What
Favor. I need to go
She's
to
on the phone with one of the students who's having trouble.
oh,
Which kind of paper?
are you able to control the audio?
Can you have time to drive me at
No,
Oh!
I just asked her.
How about field call? 3 o'clock? Okay.
It's okay. 3 o'clock. I need to
Field call.
Okay.
3 o'clock, okay.
Okay, I got it. What do you cooking? Cooking?
Or not? Up to you. Chef,
I'm gonna try this with the flour, but I'm gonna try anyway.
try one.
Yeah. You make? That's good. And they're good. I do with the rice flour
Oh, okay.
because I have a rice flour. Eh? Okay. Call me when you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
You're okay.
So let's get ready for our next step. I'm sure you've been wondering what we're painting today. Today we're gonna paint the Eiffel Tower in Paris. Are you familiar with it? So it sounds complicated, but it's a lot easier than what you can imagine. So I'm just gonna show you what we'll be doing. So we're gonna paint the tower here, just kind of the top, and we're gonna paint trees down here. It's gonna look nice, okay? So let's mix our color. I think for this part, it'd be best to have a round brush like this. And we're gonna make it kind of a dark brown or bluish color. So again, I'm gonna mix blue and red, azul y rojo. It gives me a dark purple. Make sure you mix enough paint because it's hard to mix the same exact color again. So here I just have blue and red. If you have a more purplish color than me, because our reds can be different, you can add a little bit of yellow to make it less purple. So I'm just a little bit of yellow to make it less purple if you need it. Okay, so if you want it, you can draw it first and then you can draw it after. So the tip of my tower around here, and then it comes down in a triangle. That it could be over here. And from there is like a line. And then it opens up even more to probably here. If you want to go along with me, you can, but I suggest you wait until I finish my first part so you know what you're drawing and it'll be easier. So let's draw the border. I'm gonna switch brushes to a smaller one. This one is too big for what I'm doing right now. Make sure when you're painting this part, make sure you have enough paint on the tip of your brush so you can draw easily. Don't worry if your lines are not perfect, you can go over them. Si quieren, pueden esperar a que yo termine de dibujar para que ustedes puedan ver bien. I think this is our basic outline. You can try to do this. I'll wait for you and then we'll keep going. It's easier if you do as I did, just putting the dots where you wanna end up. So I put a dot up here, 2 here, and 2 more here. And then I connect the dots. If you miss some part, or I know maybe a few of you need to leave early today, the whole painting will be on YouTube, so you can finish it, or if you missed the beginning, you can do it again. Si no alcanzan a terminar el dibujo y la pintura y se tienen que ir, esta pintura la vamos a poner en YouTube si quieren volverla a hacer luego o terminarla luego. So just think of the tower as like an A. You see how my middle line here is a straight line, but these ones start to curve a little bit. Look how much space I left from the ground, because we're gonna paint trees. And like I say, make sure you mix enough paint. It's better to have extra at the end rather than having to mix quite a bit a few times. I am going to just redo the lines I already did. I think everyone is almost caught up. So I'm just gonna draw a bit more details and you can keep catching up. I think after here, we won't see any more because of our tree, so I'm not gonna keep drawing. I'm gonna draw a line down here. Make sure you do that too, down here. If you're at this point, if you have a smaller brush, take the smallest one you have. If you don't, that's okay. You can still work with whatever you have. You just put less pressure instead of lots, just less, and just put paint on the tip. I'm gonna add a bit more detail with a small brush. I am going to add the left side to make it look like a 3D object. So you know I bring this wing down and I'm gonna draw this side over here. And I think I need more paint, running out. I think my new color is a bit different, but that's okay. And this part, we'll start maybe over here. And it comes very close to my first line. I'm gonna draw one over here. And at the top, I also made this little wing over here. So I think I'm happy with that for now. I'll let you catch up and then we're gonna mix. Sorry, these, you can see through these. And then we're gonna mix a lighter color to do even more detail. Notice how I bring this out and then bring it back in behind the tower. And on this side, I also bring it down towards the tower. And now, if you still have the same color, you can keep using that one. If you need to mix more, you can mix a bit more, but this time I'm gonna add just a little bit of white. So this is the color I was using. I wanna add a little bit of white and a tiny bit of yellow. I'm gonna keep painting detail that you can continue to catch up as you go. So I'm gonna make a line here. And from there, I'm going to go downwards, also making lines. And in these lines, I'm going to draw X. I think we're gonna need next class to finish this, or at least part of next class. So take your time, making sure that every line you draw makes sense. And now I'm going to draw a line that goes right in the middle of the X, a line coming down. It looks like a very complicated pattern here, but it's very easy. So I'm gonna do it again at the top. So first I start with lines. At the top, the lines get closer and closer together as I go up. After I have my little boxes, I draw an X on every box. Of course, at the top it's hard to see, like the lines are gonna come together, but that's okay. Just keep doing the X's. I'm gonna do the same process. Just gonna mix more paint on the side. It's very easy. It just takes time. So on the sides, I see where my horizontal line was. And I start there, but instead of keep going straight, I go down. I think I need to go even farther down. So again, I see where I stopped here. I go down. I'm gonna do that same thing up here. So try to mimic the same angle. So I stop here, I go down. Of course, the lines are gonna come together because it's a small painting, but that's okay. Still paint over it. The light will catch the intention. And on this side too. I stopped here, go down. And on this new boxes that I have, I'll also draw the X's, but I'll just go from one corner to the opposite and one corner to the opposite. One corner, corner to corner. Up here, I do the same as I did here. I bring this farther out and bring it down back. I bring this down and I bring it back to the right. So it looks like it's going behind the tower. I'm just gonna finish the detail that we'll do in this class. Then I'll give you time to catch up and we'll finish this the next class. So there's usually just a line here. I'm gonna bring this one up. And draw lines in between these. So I have 6 little squares that I connect with these. So what I did was just this line I had here, brought it up. This line I had here, brought it up. And you guessed it right, more little X's in each little square. And the last part, detail that we're going to do is this section down here. Just gonna draw a line like this. And draw lines. This will all be covered. Just thinking what I should do. Let's do another line here, just in case we're seeing through the trees. We're going to draw lines. These lines come down. We're going to draw X on the top, on the lower part, and that's it. We're going to draw a big X here. Don't worry too much about this bottom part. I think we're gonna have trees on top and a line in the middle of the X going down. And a line like a cross. And just little dots over here. And that's it. We'll leave it like that. So I think I didn't do the X's here. So next class, we'll just add a little bit of highlight to the tower with a different color. And we're gonna paint trees here at the front. And that's it. We'll see how the next class goes. If it takes us the whole class, that's fine. And if we have a little time after we finish this one, we can start doing a little bit of drawing with pencil again.